130 miles per hour. Braking zone. Foot already committed to the pedal, because that's what every driver is taught. Then the car beside you brakes later, rotates cleaner, and is already accelerating out of the corner while you're still turning the wheel. Same car. Same tires. Same data. So why does his lap belong to a different sport? This is not a talent gap. This is a technique NASCAR never planned for. Here's the number before the name: 1 driver, 6 wins and 7 road course starts, barely a full season into Cup competition. Garage insiders aren't calling it talent anymore. They are calling it something close to uncanny. And now there's a rumor moving through the paddock that NASCAR could rewrite its own rulebook just to slow him down. That driver is Shane Van Gisbergen. If you're new here, this channel is NASCAR Voltage, and we break down exactly this kind of story, the ones the garage is talking about before the mainstream coverage catches up. We're closing in on 500 subscribers, and if you want more breakdowns like this one, hitting subscribe helps this channel keep going. Your support directly shapes what gets covered next, so like, comment, and share if this story is pulling you in. Now, here's where it gets strange. In his own words, Van Gisbergen downplays the entire thing, and that makes it eerier, not humbler. Speaking to NBC Sports, he said, "I don't know what's to tell. It's normal to me. I always right foot brake and heel toe. It's what I've grown up doing." Here's the twist. Van Gisbergen only picked up left foot braking, the so-called modern technique used by most of the field, last year, and he learned it in a rally car. He is running backwards from the rest of the sport, and it is working. The technique has a name, and it's the first time it's been said on screen: heel-toe braking. This isn't a new trick. It's a resurrected one. Back in the 1980s, heel-toe braking was standard practice for drivers like Ricky Rudd and Bobby Allison, before sequential gearboxes made the clutch obsolete and erased the technique from the sport's muscle memory. He's not inventing something new. He's beating 2026 stock cars with a method NASCAR buried more than 30 years ago. And that's only the surface, because heel-toe isn't one advantage. It's 3, stacked into a single motion. If you're enjoying this kind of real, detail-first NASCAR breakdown, you'll like what's coming next on this channel, so stick around and subscribe before we go further, because this next part is where the story actually breaks open. The first weapon is tire preservation. The clutch disconnects engine shock from the rear wheels, meaning Van Gisbergen isn't burning through his tires the way left foot brakers are, lap after lap. The second weapon is rotation. Releasing the clutch mid-turn helps the car rotate underneath him, cutting the apex instead of pushing through it. The third weapon is the downshift itself, hand rev matched, with no chassis jolt, which translates into more exit speed out of every single corner. Here's the part that should worry every team in the garage. NASCAR's own SMT telemetry shows every competitor the exact brake trace, clutch input, and throttle timing, lap by lap. The recipe is public. Nobody can cook the dish. The reactions from inside the garage tell the same story, one voice after another. Christopher Bell said, "I wouldn't even know where to begin." Kevin Harvick, describing what mastering the technique actually unlocks, said drivers can modulate the brake with the clutch and be able to just do so much more in the braking zone. Dale Earnhardt Jr., on his own podcast, argued that no current Cup driver could realistically master the technique at this stage of their career. There's a lighter moment in the middle of all this tension. Corey LaJoie joked that he'd pay for a subscription just to watch the footcam footage of Van Gisbergen's pedal work. Van Gisbergen fired back that NASCAR is already showing it for free. Even Ross Chastain, Van Gisbergen's own teammate, has conceded that he can't close the gap in the short term. The whole garage has the answer key, and it still can't pass the test. Drop a comment below on which driver you think could realistically close this gap. I want to see your pick. This pattern isn't new for NASCAR. The rulebook tends to grow every time one driver finds an advantage nobody else can touch. And right now, there are 3 rumored fixes moving through the paddock like leaked intel. The first is a standardized pedal box, designed to physically block the heel-toe stance. The second is eliminating in-race clutch use entirely, which is already technically possible on the current next-gen car. The third, and the biggest lever of all, is a change to the rear differential. Van Gisbergen himself has pointed out that supercars' locked rear differential is what forced him into this braking style in the first place. Cup's more open differential makes heel-toe a bonus rather than a necessity. Change the differential, and the entire equation changes with it. To be clear, NASCAR has not officially confirmed any of these three changes. This has split the fan base and the garage into two camps. The first camp says let him win, heel-toe is a lost art coming home, and punishing the mastery of an old skill feels unfair. The second camp says level the field, NASCAR's job is competitive balance, and a gap nobody can close through training alone demands intervention. Then there's the wildcard nobody saw coming. Xfinity rookie Connor Zilisch has already beaten Van Gisbergen head-to-head. Is the field catching up, or is this one result that means nothing at all? So next time you watch him break into turn 1, ask yourself, are you watching a genius, or are you watching a loophole? Inside NASCAR's own rulebook meetings, nobody has an answer yet. Neither do we. Comment your side below, let him win, or level the field. And if you want more stories like this one broken down in full detail, subscribe to NASCAR Voltage, share this with another race fan, and drop a comment so we know what to dig into next.